Hello everyone, and welcome to the Skype One Nation of Gamers Hearthstone Academy daily recap for the weekend of December 3rd and 4th. I'm Mastergation, joined by Racy, and we're here on behalf of GamerSensei, and we'll be bringing you a daily summary of questions and discussion topics from the Hearthstone Academy Skype group. If you're looking for other passionate players to chat out with about Hearthstone, you can join the group by simply adding Gaming with Skype to your Skype account. You'll be entered to win a coaching lesson from either Strifecrow or Frozen, taking place on December 13th and 15th, as well as other giveaways. You can check out skype.onog.gg for more details. So let's jump into our first topic. And we have this, a lot of players are, getting back into Hearthstone, and they're kind of wondering, since they might have missed some of the expansions or the adventures, some of them have been asking, well, should I buy the adventures or the expansion? Racy, what do you think?
I think that you should buy the adventures first, kind of work your way back, like go back and then catch up with everybody else, because I feel like you need the adventures to make the core of most of the decks currently right now. And in the current metagame, you can actually play decks from the last format and find a lot of success with them, even with little to no new cards. Although the new cards are obviously very important, they're not a necessity, and the adventures are, in my opinion.
Yeah,
what do you think?
The adventures give a lot more value because with each wing you get a guaranteed legendary, right? Let's compare the cost first, right? Adventures are 700 gold, and with 700 gold you get a guaranteed legendary, right? I think on average the average amount of packs for a legendary is 20 packs, right? So you're already getting an extreme amount of value there. Plus the adventures are usually have most of the cards are actually very, very playable. I can, like, from Karazhan, for example, you got the Spirit Claws, Maelstrom Portal. Those were amazing for Shaman. For just two cards off the top of my head. So the adventures definitely have a lot of value, and I would definitely recommend, especially the Karazhan adventure, over the expansion. In terms of value. If you don't care about value, you just want new cards, and the expansion is probably good for you. But for those who haven't caught up with the adventures yet, definitely check those out.
Yeah. It's the most cost-efficient way to play the game for sure.
So on to our second topic, and this is actually we might have like differing opinions on this, but what do you think are the top three cards of the set?
Well, my personal top three cards would be in order. Number one is Patches, because I think it's yeah, I know everybody's gonna say that, but I think it's obvious, right? It's insane. In any deck that plays Pirates, you just get to play 29 cards in your deck as long as you don't have it in your hand. Summon it for free, 1/1 charge. It's just so strong, so much value, and incredibly aggressive. Number two, I would say, would be Kazakus, because I really like the design of the card, and on top of that, it's so powerful that it might be pushing Reno into tier 1 now, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure, you're definitely right about that. And what about the third card?
The third card would be Jade Idol. Jade Idol has basically made Jade Druid an archetype, and I really like all of the Jade mechanic cards in general, but specifically Jade Idol is very unique in the fact that it lets Druid never lose to control now. Not that they really struggled against it before, but the option to shuffle 3 Jade Idols into your deck means you have inevitability against decks that try to bring you to fatigue or control decks, stuff like that. And the effect for 1 mana to be able to summon a Jade Golem is actually quite strong, especially later on in the game. To squeeze in like a 1 mana 7/7 on top of the creature you're already playing that turn is just so cool.
Yeah.
And very strong.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think without Jade Idol, like, it wouldn't be a guaranteed win versus control, right? Because control can deal with a finite amount of, not so huge Jade Golems, but once you factor in the fact that there's potentially infinite, and a good Jade Druid player would save their second idol at least, for cycling, it does give them, like what you said, the inevitability, and that's what makes it stand out much more from the other Jade Idol, or the Jade Golem cards. All right, and on to our last topic of the day: the success of Reno decks. It's early in the season, but I just passed rank 5 yesterday, and at the higher ranks, I've been seeing a lot of more, specifically Reno Warlock. Now, Reno Warlock, Priest, and Mage have been pretty successful lately, and they all share Kazakus. And then we just talked about how Kazak is one of the top 3 cards of the set. What are your views on the success of Reno?
I think that the tri-class cards like Kazakus, the Watcher that lets you discover one of the 3 class cards, all those all contribute to Reno just kind of pushing itself into tier 1. And each of those classes also has a class-specific card that goes along with the Reno theme. Like Raza the Unchained, for example, if you have no copies of a card in your deck, makes your hero power free. Ink Master makes the next spell you play free for 7 mana, which means you can then play the Kazakus card that you just made that costs us 10 mana. Like, there's just some insane possibilities. And then on top of that, Reno itself is obviously like one of the best cards in the game if you can get it off. So it's kind of all coming together for Reno decks right now, where before, the inconsistency of the deck and having to play all one-ofs kind of kept the deck at bay, and it was tier 2 for a while, or maybe even lower. But now with all these super powerful cards that go along with the Reno theme, it seems as if the deck is just soaring up to tier 1. I mean, yesterday, Dog even got Legend with Reno Mage, and pretty easily, honestly. And there are a bunch of other streamers just doing incredibly well with Reno Mage, Priest, and Warlock. It just seems like the deck is going to be tier 1 in the upcoming metagame, or at least a competitor.
Yeah. And, you know, it's also a decent answer to Pirate Warrior as well, which a lot of people are complaining about. You know, we talked about how Patches was another one of the top 3 cards of the set, but in a Reno deck, you can run multiple weapon destruction cards. You can run an Ooze, you can run a Harrison, you can run even the newer one, the Toxic Swamp Ooze. Although I haven't seen that at all, it's an option for you. And then, of course, you have that Reno, so once the Pirate Warrior kind of runs out of gas and you can heal to full, you can really just shut them out of the game. So definitely a reasonable answer to Pirate Warrior as well. That's it for today's show. Thank you to everyone in the Hearthstone Academy Skype group who participated. And if you love Hearthstone, we'd love to have you join the conversation as well. Simply add Gaming with Skype on Skype and you'll be added to the Hearthstone Academy Skype group. Get in there and participate with your questions, and you may be selected. Those questions may be selected for tomorrow's episode. And if you're interested in joining the best esports coaching platform in the world, where you can get coached by me, myself, Ray C, and a number of other amazing senseis, make sure to sign up for GamerSensei. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.